Welcome back. Now to extraordinary new footage of that Delta plane crash in Canada. Miraculously, all 80 passengers on board that flight survived. 19 people were hurt and 2 sustained critical injuries.
Survivors of the ordeal say they were hanging like bats as the aircraft burst into flames and rolled off the runway at Toronto Airport. For more, we're joined by aviation expert Phil Dirty, live from Toronto. Great to have you with us. So 24 hours on, what do we know about this crash? How did it happen?
Well, good morning, Matt and Nat. Well, the aircraft, the flight was actually normal, an hour, 39-minute flight from Minneapolis to Toronto. Everything was normal, perfect in every way. The last communication that the pilot had with the control tower was acknowledging the landing clearance on runway 23. And then about 10 seconds later, they hit the ground at a high rate of speed. The landing gear collapsed on the right-hand wing, which then sheared the wingtip hit the ground and sheared off, and that's why you see the flames coming down the side of the airplane. And then they went into a spin, and they finally came to rest upside down and actually facing the opposite way as that they were landing.
So as an aviation expert, what do you think went wrong? Was it the collapse of the landing gear? Was it the icy runway?
It was the high rate of speed at which they impacted the runway. The winds at the time were pretty gusty. They were 270 degrees, so coming from the west, blowing at 27 to 35 knots. It wasn't that, it was controllable by the pilots. It wasn't anything out of the ordinary. We just don't know exactly if they had any wind shear or what the final outcome was. But I mean, the way they impacted the ground was pretty horrific.
Yeah, it certainly looks like it's coming in fast. You can see that bang when it hits, and also the amount of snow that is thrown up when it cuts through the tarmac there. Just quickly, Phil, you've got an update on those that were injured, is that right?
Well, they had a press briefing this afternoon. Out of the 19 people that are injured, most of them have been released, except for the 2 people that are in critical condition in hospital. One child was airlifted to the Sick Kids Hospital, and the other passenger was airlifted to a trauma center. But the other 19 people have been released from hospital.
Okay, very lucky that they walked away, aren't they? Okay, thank you very much for your insight there, Phil.